Today's video is powered by Hauppauge.
Skip it up and that up. Oh man, there are some people out there that are really complete fucking morons. They just, because they're in a high power position in the corporation they work for, that they really feel that everything they say and do is Bible, that there's no, everyone else is wrong. Even if 1,000 people are telling them they're an idiot, they still feel they're a genius. Microsoft Studios creative director Adam Orth sent out some colorful tweets yesterday, sharing his opinion on if the next Xbox, it's still not confirmed, if the next Xbox has always on DRM, and he doesn't think it's a big deal, and he kind of was a complete dick to people questioning his stance on it. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to put up screen caps because I'm sure that Microsoft's ass is swollen and pounding right now from being sensitive. So I'm just going to read them to you. So hold on here a second. The first one he tweeted was, "Sorry, I don't get the drama around having an always-on console. Every device is always on. That's the world we live in. Deal with it." Then another Twitter user, Manveer Air, I think I said that right, he says back to him, "Did you learn nothing from Diablo 3 or SimCity?" Which I agree with. You know some people's internet goes out, right? Deal with it. It's a shitty reason. And then this moron, this idiot Adam Orth says back, electricity goes out too. Yeah, that's brilliant, man. That's a great comeback. Then Manveer Air says back to him, "You've lived in LA, San Francisco, Seattle, very connected places. Try living in Janesville, Wisconsin, or Blacksburg, Virginia." Then Adam Orth has the balls to say back to him, "Why on earth would I live there? Why on earth would anyone live anywhere, man? You're telling people that you live in a better place than them? That you have a set of nuts on you, and you're stupid." That's a good combination to be bold and be a fucking idiot. Then he goes on to write, I'm going to read some more tweets here. Adam Orth goes on to write, "This has been a fun lunch break. Even Manveer Air got up on my grill." Yeah, it got up in your grill. What is it still? 1998? "Back to work and worrying about John and Richie." You hashtag Bon Jovi trouble. I don't know what the hell that means, and I don't really care. Manveer Air writes back, "Haha, don't get mad because I'm right, City Slicker." And then Manveer Air posts a picture of Obama with a quote at the bottom, "Deal with it." Then he writes some other brilliant tweets, Adam Orth. You hear some other ones here. He wrote, "Sometimes the electricity goes out. I will not purchase a vacuum cleaner." Then he writes, "The mobile reception in the area I live in is spotty and unreliable. I will not buy a mobile phone." No, dumbass, you would go to a different carrier. And in this case, the different carrier would be Sony or Nintendo. Then the other one he writes is, "Sorry for expressing my personal opinion about what I want from the electronic devices that I pay for on Twitter. Jesus." Then at the bottom, he really doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that not even in the United States, I'm not talking, developing countries. He doesn't get that the internet, like my friend Sean, I was just talking to him. He wanted to really step up his YouTube channel, but his internet sucks by him. Okay, he only lives an hour north of me. I live an hour north of Manhattan. He lives in Hudson, New York. Okay, his internet sucks there. So therefore, him getting an Xbox 720 that's always on would be a disaster for him. And this is what this genius wrote, okay? He wrote it to a Twitter user, the only Alex W. "Those people should definitely get with the times and get the internet. It's awesome." Yeah, it is awesome, Alex, but it still goes out. And for some people I know, it goes out a fairly decent amount of times. All right, and then he writes, "I want every device to be always on." What you're too stupid to get is, yeah, most of my devices are always on too. I have a decent smartphone. Okay, I have Review Tech USA. I'm always on the internet, so on and so forth. But I don't want the devices to cripple me when I can't be on the internet, okay? I don't want the devices to basically disable themselves because I don't have an internet connection. There's perfect example is Steam. The games I download from Steam, unless they have their own DRM on top of Steam, I could play if I have no internet connection. That's happened a few times. I live in upstate New York. There's gigantic snowstorms up here during the winter. This winter wasn't so bad, but that's a different story. The internet would go out. I could still, if I have the game downloaded and installed on my computer, even on Steam, I could play it. Now, another thing I saw on IGN, Naomi Kyle said, is that there's another rumor that if the next Xbox loses internet connection, it'll disable all your apps for 3 minutes. Like if you're playing a game, it'll freeze the game for 3 minutes until whatever you get a connection back on, or so on and so forth. That is horrible, man. It's not about the device always being connected. Obviously, the next-gen consoles are always going to be connected. It's 2013. But to say the device is going to be crippled and limit itself if you're not connected to the internet, what happens if I want to take the next Xbox, over to, like, I'm going on vacation and I'm renting a cabin or something? Am I going to have to get, like, a 4G service just to do that? What happens if I want to bring it to a friend's house and where, like, he has a den or an attic or, an apartment that he doesn't have the internet easily, readily available where I could hook it up, and I want to play Madden with him, which I would never do. I could give a shit about Madden, but I'm just making a point. A lot of people do this. Or I want to play a game split screen with him. I'm going to have go out of my way to get the damn thing connected to the internet if it's not convenient to do so. I'm buying your device, okay? It's not, unless you really want to turn the next Xbox into a cable box, which it seems like Microsoft wants to do. It's a console. You pay. It's something I'm paying for to have freedom with the device I just purchased. I'm not talking about stealing games and cracking games. I'm talking about doing what the hell I want to do with it legally. And you're making like people are idiots for wanting to do that. That's where like people are pissed off, man. And if you don't get that, you really are a moron. And I hope to God they fire you, because you deserve to be fired. That was arrogant. It was poorly thought out, and it just made Microsoft seem terrible. I hope to God that Microsoft is seeing all these negative reactions to this always online DRM crap, and they decide to pull the plug on it. I mean, you don't have to revamp the whole console hardware-wise to do that. Because I'm telling you, I don't care how much money I don't care how psyched investors are for this DRM. I don't care if EA is going to like exclusively release Battlefield 4 for the Xbox 360 because they like the fact that it's going to have the always online DRM. Your system's going to be doomed. All right. The 7th generation, Microsoft got lucky because it was easier to program for the 360, and third-party developers really kept it propped up. It wasn't, the exclusives the few that Microsoft have that are still relevant, Gears of War, Halo, Forza, really that's it. Can't say Fable anymore. Yeah, those did well. But Microsoft really doesn't have any games. And now the PS4 is going to be just as easy to program for, and as far as I know, isn't going to have crippling always online DRM. And on top of it, Microsoft, the economy is much different than it was back in 2005, 2006. So you have all those things working against you. You're not going to be top dog. And stop being ballsy and bold and cocky like Sony was at the beginning of the 7th generation, the previous generation. Get your head out of your asses and realize things have changed. Because if you don't, you're going to be quitting the console race sooner than you want to. Have a good one.